I hope that you people who are joining me this morning are doing great. And if you're tuning in live, Merry Christmas. If you're watching this belated, thank you for joining me. And if you're wondering who I am and what I'm talking about today, my name is Angela. I am a beauty and lifestyle blogger who has been a blogger for like 8 or 9 years. I'm an Oprah Magazine Insider. I've been in Oprah Magazine twice, on the Today Show twice, in the New York Times twice, USA Today. Like, I used to be a TV news anchor. Like, those are all my credentials, but the most important thing you need to know today is that I'm just a real person. I'm just a regular, normal person. I have a full-time job. I'm not a full-time blogger. I am a mother. I have a 2.5-year-old toddler, and I have struggled with weight my entire life. I'm talking like my entire life. I feel like I'm one of those people, like, I'm successful in everything except weight loss. I am bothered by this. I'm literally going to move this down. Oh, I can't. My husband glued that to the wall. He made our patio like a snorkel theme. Like, if you look around, literally he used a snorkel flag and life jacket, and there's my beach, you know, it's literally a beach theme on our patio. So anyway, I have decided that I'm going to start doing YouTube live videos about Bright Lane Eating because I want to encourage other people who might be interested in the program to take that leap and explain why I did it, how my life has dramatically benefited. In my weight loss journey, I'm down 40 pounds. At my highest weight last year, I was 210 pounds, and I'm telling you, life is not okay like that. I'm 5'2". It's so hard, you know, being that weight, because I would walk up the stairs and I would get winded, out of breath, you know, and trying to chase a toddler around, you know, at that weight, it's hard. So the reason I started Bright Lane Eating, and then, by the way, I'll get into how I'm going to celebrate Christmas on it. The reason I started Bright Lane Eating is because 3 years ago I had read the book, Bright Lane Eating, which I highly recommend. And in my description box below, I have a link to buy the book on Amazon. It's my Amazon affiliate link, so I make like 5 cents if you purchase that link from my description box below. But I had read the book 3 years ago, and I thought, this makes so much logical sense, but it's too hard. I think a lot of food addicts make that mistake in thinking that it's too hard of an eating program without even trying it. And that is a mistake that will keep you overweight, because there is tremendous freedom to be found in abstinence. So Bright Lane Eating has a food susceptibility quiz, and you could take that food susceptibility quiz. I don't remember the website. I should look it up and put it in the description box, but I feel like if you Google food freedom quiz or food susceptibility quiz, Bright Lane Eating, you will find that quiz. Take it. And I suspect if you're here watching this video, you are like me. You are high on the food scale. I'm a 10 out of 10, which means I'm a food addict, and I have been very addicted to sugar and flour, and they're addictive substances that cause me to get triggered and binge eat. And I've struggled with binge eating my entire life. Like, when I binge eat, it's like scary, because I will just eat an entire box of, you know, Captain Crunch. Like, it's crazy. So I feel like Bright Lane Eating seems, to someone who's never done it, to be very, very restrictive. But after I read the book 3 years ago, I joined the Facebook page, which is Bright Lane Eating Official, and I would see people like me who have lost dramatic amounts of weight, like 150 pounds, you know, easily, and they all said the same thing. Like, everybody told a similar story, which is the story that I tell now of, oh my gosh, I never realized how easy this program would be. And so 3 years went by where I'm sitting there stalking the Facebook page and seeing all these transformations and all these people who have lost so much weight, and they're all saying like, wow, I can't believe how free I feel. I did Bright Lane Eating, and the food chatter that I had in my brain, like the mental gymnastics that I had, like all day, the food decisions that I made, those thoughts were gone, and my brain became so free and clear. That's exactly, you know, when I finally took the plunge, that's exactly what happened to me. But 3 years went by where I'm just sitting there, you know, secret creeping on this Facebook page, seeing all the transformations. I started doing Weight Watchers again, because I have found, you know, Weight Watchers, if you're not high on the food susceptibility scale, you know, go ahead and give Weight Watchers a try. I'm not against it, but for me, I kept yo-yoing on Weight Watchers. Like, my weight would go up and down, whatever. So I started following Weight Watchers ambassadors, and I noticed that those Weight Watchers ambassadors, a lot of them gained their weight back, or they would say, it's such a struggle, and I still struggle every day, and, you know, it's hard, and sometimes I still get triggered and binge eat. And I'm sitting here like, all of the Bright Lane Eating people, they all say how freeing they are and there's zero struggle. Like, you start the program and then you lose your struggle after like 2 or 3 days. Whereas Weight Watchers people were still struggling after 2 or 3 years. Again, and a lot of them gained the weight back. And I just was like, that's not a life that I want to live. I want to live free from food chatter in my brain. And so Labor Day, I finally decided to take the plunge. I finally just woke up after binge eating for 2 or 3 weeks. And I skipped some steps. I'm sorry. I talked about this, by the way, in my video I did a couple of days ago, which I have linked in the description box below, about how I got started. And I'll just say it very quickly because I talked about it more in that video. But I got a health coach, Andrea Montoya, and you can find her on Instagram at Things Andrea Says. And she was super helpful as my first step in the long-term beating back the food addictive thoughts. So she coached me and was a super big help. So that was step number 1. Then I read the book Brain Over Binge by Katherine Hanson. That was also step number 2. Step number 3 was reading the book Never Binge Again, and then doing the intensive coaching with Never Binge Again, which is very expensive. And, you know, honestly, you could just read the book and buy the workbook on Amazon, super cheap. I should link that in the description box below. But I really like to make these videos about Bright Line Eating exclusively because all of those other resources I just said are not necessary for you. They helped me, you know, because I feel like I was afraid to take that leap, take that plunge, and make that commitment to doing Bright Line Eating. But those 3 resources were what gave me the mental fortitude, if you will, to be like, I can do this. I can definitely do hard things. So Bright Line Eating, that's really what I want to make these videos about, because I think this is the key. So 3 years ago, read the book, you know, got my willpower strong with, you know, the health coach and reading the 2 books, you know, and doing all those things. And then I finally decided September, I think Labor Day is September 7th or September 8th of 2020. I took that plunge and I said, I honestly tricked myself and was like, let me just do it a week or 2. I said, just do Bright Line Eating a week or 2 and just see how you feel. And if you hate it, then you could go back to Weight Watchers. So I tricked myself. And I did it, and I'm telling you, within the first 10 weeks, I lost 21 pounds. Like, within the first 3 days, I'll be honest, I was blessed. I was one of those people that did not have a detox period. I didn't have a headache. I did need more sleep. I do remember being like, okay, I'm getting sleepier earlier in the evening. And I will tell you that Bright Line Eating has regulated my sleep. Like, I go to bed earlier and wake up earlier because it does something to your circadian rhythms where you're more naturally, you know, gonna fall asleep earlier and wake up earlier. And I wake up now and I have so much energy and it's great. So speaking of waking up today, the whole purpose of this video is to talk about Christmas. And Merry Christmas again if you're tuning in early today. Merry Christmas. I am treating, as a Bright Line eater, I'm treating Christmas like any other day, but I do have special Bright Line within the, you know, program's parameters, meals planned. And for breakfast, I'm probably just gonna do, what I typically do, which is like oatmeal, you know, oats with banana and blueberries and pecans and pea protein milk. I'm gonna do that. I used to do whole milk, but a couple of days ago I started switching to pea protein milk just because I wanted to be like, you know, dairy free. Although, you know, I did fine with completely eating dairy. I do eat dairy and meat. Then for lunch, I'm gonna do a pumpkin bake, which is a wonderful Bright Line Eating recipe that I found on the Facebook page, which basically is like, you know, 6 ounces of canned pumpkin, no sweetener, you know, 6 ounces of banana, a tablespoon or 1 ounce of melted butter, and pecans. And then that's like 6 ounces of vegetables and your fruit and your fat. And then you supplement with 4 ounces of another vegetable, because I like to do 10 ounces of vegetables at lunch and 10 ounces at dinner. So I'm probably gonna eat like some cherry tomatoes. So that'll be my lunch. That'll be festive and fun. I put a little pumpkin pie spice in it, you know, sugar-free deliciousness. And then for dinner, I'm probably just gonna do like, you know, a chicken breast and, you know, some green beans. Like, just keep it very, very simple. So here's the thing that I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make in this video is that on Bright Line Eating, you know, a holiday is not an excuse to eat off plan. A holiday is not an excuse to binge. A holiday is not an excuse to indulge. I had my birthday 3 days ago, my 40th birthday, and I stayed bright. The one change I will confess that I made is that I saved my grain at breakfast, because you're supposed to have your grain at breakfast. I saved it for lunch and put 4 ounces of rice at lunch because my best friend brought over Chinese food. She's like, what do you want to eat? You know, she honestly offered to take me to lunch, and I was like, it's a pandemic, you know, and I just would rather eat at home because then I can weigh and measure my food. I have brought a food scale to a restaurant before and didn't care, but I just wanted to stay home and keep it low key for my birthday, and she brought Chinese food. I requested steamed shrimp and mixed Chinese vegetables and white rice, and I had my white rice at lunch instead of at breakfast. On Bright Line, You're supposed to just, you know, eat the program and not mess with it, and you find tremendous freedom that way. I chose to have my rice at lunch just as my little indulgence, even though it was totally on plan, you know, but I have not messed with my lines in any other way. That's the first time I've ever moved my grain to lunch, and you know, I don't plan to keep doing that because I want to keep following the program the way it's written, because that's how you find tremendous success, and that is how you find freedom from food chatter, because the average person has 237 food thoughts and food decisions in their head each day. With Bright Line Eating, you make it zero. You make your eating behavior automatic. And so I always tell everybody, read the book and then decide if it's right for you. And if it is, go join the Facebook page and, you know, find a mastermind group. I have a mastermind group. Find a mentor. I have a mentor named Monica. Shout out to Monica if she watches this. You've helped me so much. Thank you. And I just feel like, you know, surround yourself with people who live this lifestyle so that it becomes more normal to you. And you will find so much freedom that way. So this is my Bright Line Eating video of the day. I'm gonna stop and, you know, drink my coffee, and I bet my son's waking up. The toddler's probably awake in the crib, and we're gonna do Christmas. I'm gonna wait until my husband wakes up, and then we're gonna do all the presents. I hope all of you have a wonderful, bright Christmas. If you're interested in Bright Line Eating, be sure to leave a comment down below and surround yourself again with people like me who are doing the program, and find all those resources. Read the book. I also put in, by the way, I also put in the cookbook in the description down below, and you know, just do the program. I cannot tell you how freeing it is and how wonderful it is. All right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.